It's episode 5 of the Webflow series. This should be the last episode. In the previous episode, we built this entire landing page, but today we will cover responsiveness for all the smaller devices, and even in the last, we will check this in the larger breakpoint like 1920 pixel. We will add some quick SEO, edit our project setting, and then we will cover how actually we publish this site at the end of this series. But first, we will make it responsive. Let's start from the tablet. The first thing that I want to do here is to make this hero content wrapper vertical for the smaller devices. Here you can see the mockup overlapping the second section because we set this to 90 view port height. We will make it auto. Now I want to make this hero left 100% of the parent for the smaller breakpoints. So everything here should be center aligned. But you can see the text is looking too small. If you remember, we set the body font size to 1 viewport width for desktops. Here it should be 2 viewport width for the smaller breakpoints. This is looking fine, so I will turn on the flex box for this hero text and button wrapper. It should be vertical and everything here should be center aligned. Also, this paragraph will reduce the bottom margin. I want to hide these review text for the smaller devices. I want to reduce this top margin also. And this image is out of the canvas, so we will adjust the position from here. Okay, here needs some bottom margin because these buttons are touched with this image. Now, I think this is looking fine except that inner padding. We need to reduce it to about 3 em on both sides and on the bottom. Now we need to check this section on mobile landscape. Everything seems fine, but there are a few things that need some adjustment. Here we need to reduce this bottom margin a little more, and here I want to reduce the text and the button size for the breakpoint. Available on should be 14 and Google Play should be 18 pixel. So the bottom should be 200 pixel. This hero paragraph should be 2.5 em for the mobile landscape and mobile breakpoints. Now it looks fine for the mobile landscape. Let's check this in the mobile breakpoint. The first thing that you can notice is that this icon is fixed in its size for all the breakpoints. So we need to make it responsive by giving its size in percentage from the base breakpoint. Icon diff should be 15% and this icon should take 100% of the parent diff. Now you can see it's decreasing size with the breakpoint. I want to reduce the height for this underline. For the mobile breakpoint, this hamburger menu icon should be smaller. Need to align this logo with the icon, so we'll give it a little margin. And these two buttons should be vertically aligned for this breakpoint. This time I will remove the right margin, but we'll give it the bottom margin. And this margin should be 20 pixel. The headline is looking very small. I want to increase the size to 3.5 em. The height of this line should be 6 pixel. And I will make it a line underneath the dividing word. Here need to increase the width a little. The paragraph should be 100% of width here. Now you can see this section is responsive for all the breakpoints. So let's move down to the second section. Here we will play with grids. For the tablet, I want to leave 2 columns. So I will delete 2 columns and will add 1 row instead. Hit done. From the sides, I want to delete that padding and the top margin should be 40 pixel. Also, I will remove this bottom margin from the text. Also, the padding on the side for the other sections should be 2.3 em. Everything looks fine for the mobile landscape. Let's check in the mobile. So the first thing that I want here to increase the H2 heading size also to 2.5 em. And also I want to remove this second column in the grid and we'll add 2 rows more. Hit done. So the text is also hard to see and I need to increase the size of it. Now it's looking fine for all breakpoints. So let's move down to the third section. Again, this is horizontal. I want to make it vertical first. So the section left should be 100% of the parent, and also section right to 100%. So the image is on the top, but I want the text on the top, so I will select the section wrapper and will hit that reverse icon. So similarly, everything here is also to be center aligned like this. For the smaller breakpoint, I will remove that bottom margin from the second section. I will give it some bottom margin. 100 pixel is fine. Now I want to align this mockup to the center. Also, I will remove this padding also. Now this is in the center. Similarly, we will adjust the position of these other cards like this. Perfect. It's looking good for tablet. Let's check this out for the mobile landscape. For the paragraph, I will reduce the bottom margin and the text size for mobile landscape, and mobile breakpoint should be 1.6 em. Also need to reduce the section bottom margin. Here we will remove the right padding on heading from the tablet breakpoint. So the H2 heading should be 2.5 em. The read more button will be 2.7 em. Need to reduce the top margin of button wrapper. There is too much space between the section right and left wrapper. Also, the roundness of these cards are too much, so I will reduce the roundness of each card. Section 3 is done. Let's have a look at section 4. Everything seems fine here. Just need to increase the size of this image to 100% of the parent. For this breakpoint, I will increase the paragraph size to 1.6 em. For mobile, we will increase H2 size again to 2.5 em and will adjust the spacing between the elements. Perfect. So let's move further down to the pricing section. We will again edit the grid here. First, we will decrease the spacing between these cards. And we'll remove that padding on the sides. And we will adjust the position of this also. For starter, text is looking too small and hard to see, so I need to increase the size of this to 1.2 em. Actually, this was in viewport width, so we will turn this into em from the base breakpoint. I will reset this. Now it's applied for all the breakpoints. Okay, I will decrease the spacing between them. Looking fine. Now let's check this out on the landscape. The paragraph here should be 1.6 em also, and the title text should be 2.5 em. But I think I have to change the grid layout for this breakpoint. I want only one column, so I will delete 2 columns from here and will add 2 rows instead. Now we will adjust the text sizing and spacing. For starters should be 2 em. Pricing here should be 5 em. The text in the button is also too small, so I will increase the size a little. Bill annually should be 1.6 em. Now it's looking fine. I will increase the spacing between cards a little bit. And I will also increase the text inside the saving tag. The tag needs some roundness. Let's check these cards in the mobile breakpoint. So I will change the text sizing again. 3 to 3.5 em. For starter to 3 em. Pricing to 8 em. The text inside the saving tag to 1.8 em. Bill annually to 2.5 em. The text inside the button should be 2.4 em. Okay, the pricing section is done. Let's move to the footer section. We will edit the grid here. So I will delete 2 columns from here and will add 1 row instead. Here I want to make the social media icons horizontal align instead of vertical. The remaining things are fine for the tablet. Let's check this in the mobile landscape. Everything looks fine for now. Let's check in mobile. I will make everything in 1 column for the mobile breakpoint. The text is looking too small for the mobile breakpoint, so I will change the text sizes for both breakpoints quickly. Everything is done. Now let's turn on the preview mode and we'll check the responsiveness for these smaller breakpoints. You can see when we contract the browser, it's resizing very smoothly with the canvas. So the hero section is perfect. Let's check the second section. And similarly, we will check the responsiveness for other section too for all breakpoints. Fantastic. Now the last thing is we will check this design in the larger breakpoint like 1920 pixel. From these 3 dots we will add a breakpoint for 1920 pixel. Hit create. So let's see. Everything seems fine for this larger breakpoint except this tag. I don't know why it's not round yet. Let's check this in the preview mode. Perfect. Now I want to show you how we can stylize this ugly navigation drop down. So the first thing that we need to do is to show the drop down from the navigation setting. Now let's come back to the style panel. So first I will change the background color to that light purple, and secondly I want to add a stroke to it and some roundness. After that I will add 20 pixel padding on the sides. I will also increase the font size to 25 pixel, and the color should be white. The last thing I want to do is to add a hover effect to the navigation link. So here, turn on the hover state. I will change the background color of the link to that light purple but a little darker. Now you can see when we hover over the link, each link is showing the hover effect. Also, I want to remove that menu background color. If we check in the preview mode, it's working fine. You can also change the drop-down type from here. Can also set the transition for opening and closing. Let's hide this for now. Now I want to add the hover effect to this also. So I will select the button and will change the state to hover state. So we will change the background color to dark gray. Now it's working fine. Now we will add a little bit of interaction to the design. Well, I'm not adding to the whole page, just adding to this hero section. For that, we will select the hero content wrapper, and then we will open the interaction panel. There are two types of interactors here when we interact with elements like hover over an element, mouse click. Here we have page triggers like while page scrolling, page load, page scroll, but this time we will do page load. When the page loads, these two images will animate. So we have set the trigger to page load. Start animation and click on this plus icon and we will name it page load. Now the first action that I want to do here to add some movement to this image. So click on move and I will move it to the negative x-axis to about -100 is fine, and set this as an initial state. This means it's the starting point, and in the end we will set the movement to 0 in x-axis or its original position. The duration is 0.5 and I will set the easing to outquint. If we preview it, you can see the animation is working. Similarly, we will set the second image, so the starting point of this image should be +100. We will add move to the end and we'll set the position to 0 or its original position. The easing should be outquint here also. Let's check this one too in the preview mode. Okay, now I want to animate the spark icon also. So first we will add some movement in the actions. Here I will move this shape in both x-axis and y-axis. Similarly, we will add action in the ending. Here the position will be its original position. But now I want to play with the size of this element. For that, I will add scale action. So in the initial state, I will set the size to 0.6 and at the ending we'll set to 1 or its original size. The easing should be outquint. If we check this in the preview, it's working fine, but I want to animate this element after animating these images. For that, I will add some delay time and will reduce the duration a little bit. Similarly, the same value to the scale. You can see this is animated after these images. But here, I want to add another style, and there is opacity. In the start, the opacity should be 0, and in the end, the opacity should be 100. We will set here also the delay and duration like we did in the move and scale. Let's preview it. It looks really nice. So similarly, you can add animation and transition to all of these elements, text and images exactly the way we did, and make your design very interesting for the users. Well, I'm not adding interactions to other elements now. I want to save our time because we need to cover other things too in this last episode. So hit that save button, and now we will add some quick SEO to our homepage before publishing our website. And we want to do this because we want the search engine to be able to find our website. So we will click on that setting icon. This is the name of the page. I want to keep it as it is. Now we will go right into SEO setting. This is actually a preview of what this will look like when someone Googling and our site pops up in that listing. So we will set the title to Doingly, and for the meta description, I will add this text for now. You can see the preview here. Open graph setting, this is for when you share a link on social media, it will pop up an image, title and description. So for the open graph title, I will use the same as the SEO title. Similarly for open graph description. And here in the last, for open graph image, we will upload an image which will be 1200 by 630 pixel in size. So already I designed an image in this size. So I will export this quickly and import it to our asset panel. I will hit that save button because I'm uploading that image. From here, we will copy the link of this image and we will open again our page setting panel and we'll paste this link right here. So you can see the preview of this open graph. So we have our SEO done for the homepage. So we will hit the save button. Now a few more things that need to do here. Go to the project setting. Here I don't want to change this name and subdomain. I will just leave it as it is. And I'm not covering about the domain and hosting setup. There are a number of websites which provide domain and hosting. But here I want to change these two icons for favicon and web clips. So I already make these icons in the sizes which they mentioned. I will export these icons too in the asset folder and we'll upload here one by one. Nothing needs to change below here, so let's go back to the designer. Now it's time to publish our site. So I will use Webflow's domain and publish our site. But if you want to publish on a custom domain, click here to add a custom domain. If you want to use another company's hosting, you can simply export your code from here that I showed you before. And then you have to upload your files to their servers. So now we will publish our site to a selected domain. It will take a few seconds. Now it says the site is published successfully. Click here on that small arrow. So we are live now. We have just published our site. Now we will check every section of this landing page in the browser. We will also check the responsiveness to contract and extract the browser size. So we make the whole design perfectly responsive for all breakpoints. So finally, we have finished our project in this last episode. We learned about how to design a landing page in Figma, and we also learned how to build a website in Webflow without writing a single line of code. So what's next? If you want to dig deep in Webflow, here are some options for you. First is Webflow University, which is the official learning platform of Webflow. Here you can enroll in different courses for free. Flux Academy is also a great option. Ren Siegel is a well-known name in the Webflow Academy. He offers a variety of paid courses. Subscribe to his channel for free crash courses. FinSuite and my friend Timothy Ricks also have great content on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to their channels. I hope this series was helpful. Let me know in the comment box. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in the upcoming videos.